I wrong for telling my niece the family secret? I, 35 female, had 2 older sisters growing up, Jane and Kim. Kim got sick and died, but not before giving birth to my niece, Laura, 18 female. It had been a year after Kim's passing when Jane and Laura's dad, Tom, 42 male, confessed to dating and were now engaged. Bro, I don't understand. I never understand sisters going after the same guy especially after they have a baby together. That's so weird. That's so nasty. I accused them of cheating. Jane and Tom explained that this wasn't something they had planned, but there was no cheating and knew that Kim would want them to be happy. Yeah, but not with each other. You can be happy with someone else. Convenient since she's, dead. I did not attend the wedding and was super upset at how everyone else was so accepting of the relationship. But the thing that hurt me the most was how Jane and Tom intended to completely erase Kim and Laura's life. She was barely 2 when Kim died, and they decided it would be better if Laura thought Jane was her mother in every sense of the word after the adoption was finalized. Tom got rid of any items that would suggest he and Kim were ever in a relationship and made his family swear to never tell Laura the truth. Jane expected everyone on our side of the family to do the same, but I refused, and as such, I was denied access to Laura. It hurt, but when I thought about all those times Kim cried, knowing that she wouldn't live long enough to see Laura grow up, there was just no way I could honor the lie. They even had Laura's name illegally changed to something that Jane liked, as Kim picked out Laura's first name. I distanced myself from my family over time over this, but my parents always tried to get us to reconcile, citing that they didn't like this arrangement either, but accepting it was better than not being a part of Laura's life at all. I just couldn't do it. Growing up, Laura had known of me, but we never really interacted. Apparently, she's interested in studying a field that I work in and reached out to me through social media. The last time I saw her, she was 7, and I started to tear up about how much she looked like him. We would talk from time to time, and eventually Laura asked why I wasn't around. I tried to keep it vague, but Laura knew that there was more to the story, as I didn't seem like the person I was described to be. If we had been talking through DMs like before, I probably wouldn't have done it, but we were video chatting, and something about looking directly into her eyes broke me, and I confessed to everything. Before Kim died, she and I made a series of videos for Laura to watch at her big moments, and I told her that if she ever wanted to watch any of them, I'd send them. Laura asked me to send some, and then I heard nothing from her for days. Recently, I got a call from an enraged Jane and Tom berating me for ruining their family. After Laura watched some of the videos, she confronted my parents, who confirmed everything. Laura has moved out and currently not speaking to anyone, and no one knows where she is right now. Everyone is angry at me. So, am I the asshole? Let me clarify some things. My parents talked about Kim and had pictures of her in the house, so Laura knew who she was. She just didn't know that Kim gave birth to her.
Am I the asshole for telling the truth in my wedding toast? I'm a 30-year-old male, and my best friend got married last week. I just bought a house, and my wife is expecting our son in November. So I let him know I was limited in what I could contribute financially, but did tell him I would try my best. So I went to the bachelor party in Maine, I rented the tux, and paid for mine and my wife's dinner at the rehearsal dinner. I also had a gift of $300 that I was going to give them, but we'll get to why I didn't give it to them later. His, now wife, then fiance, texted me multiple times a day with updates. I didn't always respond, and it got to the point to where if I didn't respond at least once a day, I'd get a call from my buddy. She texted me for the following reasons. 1. My wife was not allowed to talk about our pregnancy at all. She didn't want anyone to focus on that more than her, the bride. 2. She was not going to order special food for my wife. No one asked her to. My wife was fine with whatever she was going to be served. 3. I was not helping the groom enough. He had to help her with favors, seating charts, and programs, so I had to help him with those things, according to her. She also said to get ready to help with thank you notes after the wedding.
That is... what?
4. She said if I was a true best man, I would offer to pay for the bar bill. I don't even know what that means.
What? That's...
5. She had to read and approve my speech before the rehearsal dinner and wanted to be included as much as my buddy. She told me to make up things if I had to. I was also not allowed to include anyone but the 2 of them. And no inside jokes or stories about my buddy that didn't include her. Her last text said to tell my wife to keep it together and not make a pregnancy scene during the wedding.
This woman sounds awful.
Yeah.
3 of the 6 were about this dude's wife being pregnant.
Yeah, why did she keep bringing in the wife?
Also, she wanted her to choose a dress that downplayed her pregnancy as much as possible.
I'm surprised,
I was gonna
honestly.
make that joke, and I was like, "Oh, and what? She wants you to wear a dress where you don't look pregnant?"
I was just so aggravated. I spoke to my friend to see if he could reason with her. He told me to just play ball on this one. It's her day and to cut him a break, because he'd be dealing with her nonsense for the rest of his life. The day of, all the bride and my buddy did was scold me, berate me, and bark orders. I headed down to the bar for a drink. The bride's mother is there and warns me not to get drunk because I've ruined her daughter's day enough. Final straw. I didn't give them the card with the cash, and in the speech, I used my friend's exact wording about having to deal with her nonsense for the rest of his life. I wished him the best and told him I'd always be there for him, especially during the divorce. Am I the asshole?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I get it, but...
Am I wrong for my response to my cousin's pregnancy announcement at my husband's goodbye party? My husband's getting deployed overseas very soon, and I decided to invite both families for a cookout/goodbye party for him before he leaves. My cousin and I aren't close. She married 3 times and has 2 kids. She divorced her first husband because he left work and became a stay-at-home parent, divorced her second one because he didn't do chores and kept working long hours. Now her current husband, Tom or Tommy, does nothing. In fact, she does everything for him while he just hangs out with friends and plays video games most of the time. My cousin's reasoning for choosing him is that he has so many other great features. I gotta say, he is handsome and he is one of the most gorgeous guys she's ever been with. But he's rude, loud, talks back, has awful sense of humor, and money has clearly stunted his growth mentality. On to the encounter. At the cookout, everyone was sitting after we ate, and my husband was giving a little speech about what he's been experiencing at the moment, as well as giving sincere goodbyes to his mom, dad, and little sister. He then talked about how much he'll miss our little ones. It was emotional until my cousin carelessly interrupted us and playfully said it wasn't like my husband was dying or isn't coming back in a few months. Then she said she had big news. Everyone looked at her as she smiled and said she was pregnant. In the past, she always interrupted things like my proposal and my baby shower to make her announcements. I got mad seeing the attention instantly go on her by getting hugs and congrats. My husband seemed irritated and got quiet. I just got up from my seat, feeling confused about how to react, and told my cousin, "Hey, listen, I know you're happy to be able to keep Tommy's sperm as pets, but this is a goodbye party for Kevin, so your happy news should be shared another time in another place." Families were split. Some were laughing and some got upset. My cousin, almost crying, silently left the yard and aunt followed. I got nasty looks from my side of the family. Then both my mom and aunt berated me for my inappropriate reaction and my response and making such a disgusting comment about my cousin's pregnancy and humiliating her like that. I explained that this was yet another attempt from her to hijack another occasion I host, and I said this in the heat of the moment, but my aunt saw nothing wrong with sharing good news and demanded I apologize for ruining my cousin's moment and making her feel awful. I feel awful too and think I was insensitive with how I responded. So am I the asshole here? You know, some people will just forever be attention seekers. You can't do much with it. I would be pissed too. No lie.